Hi guys, so I know it's been a while since I've uploaded a video, which is why I wanted to do a sit down to let you guys know what's been going on. So I thought I'd go ahead and fold some laundry and just talk about what's been happening. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so let me just get some water really quick. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to go ahead and talk about really quick is why I just kind of disappeared from YouTube. I know my last video was my 2-week wait, and if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I was pregnant. I delivered her in February of last year because this is the new year. So we later found out that it was a girl. We named her Violet. She was delivered at 34 weeks. She was 6 weeks early. She had to stay in the NICU for about 2 weeks. It wasn't too bad. It was basically just so that she can gain weight and that they knew that she was gonna, you know, be okay when we got home. So wasn't really feeling it this pregnancy. It definitely wasn't like the whole baby bliss. Like I did have a lot of mom guilt because of my first daughter, but we knew this is what we wanted. I've always wanted a big family, and so it was just like our next step. Like it was, you know, it was time to have another baby. I should be folding clothes, but I'm not folding clothes. So let me just start folding clothes. So yeah, so that's what really happened. I didn't really feel connected to Violet, even though we were as connected as two human beings can be. So that was really difficult for me because you just go through this whole mind process, especially if like you're in the infertility community, that if, you know, you wanted a baby, any kind of negative feelings because you worked so hard to get pregnant, it just makes you feel guilty about everything because, you know, it wasn't just like by chance or, you know, just like unplanned or anything. This was planned out. I did record a video, but I just never uploaded it. So I don't know why. I guess I had the baby blues. I've heard that term a few times from doctors and therapists. It happens before. Hold on, my Munch is coming. Hi Munch.
Hello. How you doing?
Folding clothes.
Oh no, you're taking pictures. Mommy, can I take a picture with you?
I'm not taking pictures here.
Okay, that's enough.
I'm not taking pictures, I'm talking. It's Munchkin. Yeah, it was just really hard, and I felt really bad and guilty, and then I was worried about how Emerald was going to take it having a new baby because, you know, my husband and I, we were all very close, the three of us, and so it was just, I was just worried about how she was going to take having a new baby because our time would obviously be divided now. It wouldn't just be solely on her. So that was another concern. I did develop that preeclampsia, which is really dangerous for mom because it has a lot to do with like blood pressure and, you know, organ damage and organ failures. My husband wasn't there throughout the pregnancy. He was there maybe like 2 doctor's appointments, which left me feeling a little bit like, you know, lonely and stuff like that. And that's why we had to deliver her early. So that was just a really quick, like, you know, run through of what happened. All that information is going to be on my blog. So moving on, I'm leading up to why in my description it says divorce. We were having a very difficult time transitioning from 1 child to 2. He didn't take any time off. So I was going back and forth through being here with my daughter and then having to go back to the hospital. And then, so it just started to like pile on top of us, and we were not communicating the way we should. And I definitely was getting more frustrated. And I'm the type of person that once I get frustrated, I kind of just like close or shut down and I don't want to talk about it. I just, you know, if he doesn't understand what I'm trying to say or anything like that, I kind of make it like it's my problem and I just have to deal with it because I was just in a horrible place after I had my baby. And it had a lot to do again with that mom guilt. Like that mom guilt was just on my shoulders constantly. I kept talking to him about it and he just didn't understand. And it was, if I needed him for a certain thing, if I wanted to lean on him for anything, it was, you know, like he wasn't giving me the reaction that I was looking for, I guess. So all of that started to pile on. My hormones were crazy because I just had a baby. And then I go and I decide I'm going to get on birth control. Why? Okay, so this is my selfish me. I did not want to have a period. I enjoy the last, like, 9 months of not having a period and having 2 girls. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm just going to get on birth control. Like, that's going to be great. I'm not going to have a period for whatever months. So I did end up getting the IUD, so that's Mirena. I don't know if you guys know about that. Most of you probably that are watching heard of it or seen commercials. And so that's something that I wanted, because I know it stops your period completely for a good, like, I think it's a year or something. I'm not really sure. Obviously I didn't do that much research, because if I did, I probably would have passed on it. When you go in for birth control is, okay, so what kind of birth control? They ask you what kind of what you want. You tell them what you want and why you want it and blah, 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 blah. So really quickly, when you want to get an IUD, and I haven't worked with any other ones, I haven't used any other brands but the Mirena one, if they tell you that you are going to bleed, like you're not going to have your period isn't going to stop immediately, it's going to take a few months, like 3 to 6 months, I want you to hear the wording that they use, because the wording and the phrase that the nurse gave me was so misleading. Okay, she says you are probably going to have a period still. You're probably going to be bleeding for 3 to 6 months, which now I think about it, her saying makes sense. And there's not really any other way that she could say it. But me having like just had a baby, again, mommy brain, my hormones, I'm just not thinking clearly. I'm just trying to make it as easy as it is, as easy as it could be for a mom of 2 at this point. So it's like, oh yeah, let's go ahead and just do it. You know, I'm fine. Okay, you bleed non-stop 3 to 6 months. And it is awful. You'll have heavy days, you'll have spotting days, you'll have light days. There are days that you think it stops and then it like surprises you at the end of the day. And so you're out somewhere and you're bleeding all over yourself. Sorry, it's too much information, but it was just a horrible experience. Not only that, but I gained weight. I was so irritable. I was really moody. It was just the worst decision that I've ever made. And I've only been on birth control twice. Like, this was the second time that I was on birth control. And I don't remember having this problem the first time, but then again, I only had the pills. So it was just so crazy to me. I talked to my husband about it. I asked him what he thinks I should do. You know, should I wait it out? It's like 4 months by now and I'm still bleeding. And so I was just like, what do I do? What do I just keep it in? I mean, it's 3 months, 4 months. I only have 2 more months left of bleeding and I was going through pads. Like, you know, it was just, it was like the worst experience ever. You know, so he eventually told me, like, it's up to you what you want to do. I don't think it's worth it. You know, you only bleed once a week. I mean, coming from a man, you only bleed once a week, a month. So, I mean, I was like, okay, you know, I guess you're right. Like, it wasn't that serious. It was basically just so I was more comfortable, more convenient for me to have the girls and not have to worry about a period. But it's proven to be more work than it was worth. So I ended up taking it out. I was struggling so bad with this whole dividing my time between the 2 girls now, not wanting to get up. I was so tired. All I wanted to do was sleep all day long. I did not want to get out of bed. I could feel it, like there was just something wrong. I was just so sad. I was so sad. I'm just not that type of person, you know? Like I've never been, well, I mean, I've never been depressed. I've had moments where I was down or whatever, but I always be able to pick myself back up. And this time was completely different. So it was just like a whole mess of things going on at the time, which really did affect us. You know, we were not sleeping very well, you know, having to deal with the 2 girls. He'd go to work all the time and he'd expect me to understand why he had to be to work from like 9 to like 8 o'clock at night with a newborn and a 2-year-old. And, you know, like he didn't understand where I was coming from. Why am I not happy? I have both girls. Like, what's going on with me? Why am I so weird? Why am I crazy? You know, and then he'd always use the word crazy. Like, you're crazy. This is what you wanted. Blah, blah, blah. It was just like a whole bunch of stuff. So I was just constantly just talking about divorce. I just wanted a divorce. I'm like, I hate you. I don't want to be with you. I can't stand you anymore. You are not who I want to be with. And I don't want to waste my life. I kept going back. Like, I don't want to be with somebody that doesn't appreciate me. I don't want to be with somebody that doesn't understand what I've given in order to be this type of person, this mom for my girls. And that's pretty much what happened. And we ended up going to counseling because I told them, like, it's either we fix this or I leave. I don't want to be with you anymore. And so we decided to go to counseling. And if you guys are thinking about going to counseling, if you guys are having issues in your marriage and you guys have reservations on going to counseling, I highly recommend it. I do recommend you do some research, obviously, because it can get expensive. You want to make sure that you guys feel comfortable opening up, because there are going to be things that you're going to talk about that are going to be uncomfortable and going to be private, and you're going to make sure that you're with somebody in that room and you're comfortable with them talking about it, you know. That was definitely something that we both looked into. I mean, he was the one, I was really proud of him. I'm going to say that I was proud of him because he took the initiative. He was the one online looking for counselors and stuff like that. It was a relief on my part. This, and only this time has he ever shocked me and surprised me and did it on his own. So I was actually pretty excited about that. So anyways, moving on, we decided that we were going to see the therapist, and she, you know, asked us like why we've been feeling like this, and I told him, you know, I don't appreciate when you go to work and you're talking to your coworkers all the time, and then when you come home you have nothing to say to me. And then it, you know, like his coworkers at the time were telling him like, oh, why do you have to check in with your wife all the time? And I'm like, hello, I just had a baby. I have 2 babies, one that's 2 years old and a newborn. Why wouldn't he call me at lunch? You know, like they made it seem like he had to check in with me like I was like his mother, and then that was the whole thing with like fighting all the time. Like he just thought that I was treating him like a child, and so he kind of started to pull it back away from me, kind of like, I guess, to assert his dominance over me, or his ego got in the way of it. Like he tried to just make it seem like, no, I don't have to answer to you, and blah 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 blah. So that was the whole thing. And she was able to tell him like, you know, you shouldn't let people on the outside come in, because how would you feel if she did that to you? So that was just like an eye-opener for him. And I just told him, you know, I just don't feel like I want to work on this right now. I don't want to work on him. I don't want to focus on what he needs and stuff like that. I have my 2 girls that I have to work on and take care of, and myself. And she helped us talk about why. And a lot of the things that I've learned about myself is that I kind of expected him to know me and the things that I needed, and I guess read my moods or something like that. Because I told her like, I'm over here sitting here, and like I'm sitting here doing laundry, Violet's crying, Emerald wants something, and he's sitting here on his iPad. And so I told her like, in that situation I just would expect him to get up and, you know, grab one of the girls, you know. And so, and he wouldn't, and so then I would have to tell, no, and I wouldn't tell him. I don't think I'd ever tell him. I just get up and start stammering things, or that was something that triggered him, you know, the way I talked to him, the way I said it. And so it really did help, because we were able to talk about things without offending each other, which led to arguments, you know. But I don't know what happened. I guess something happened where we were fighting about doing something, or I don't know what happened. I can't really remember. But it was really a bad argument. And so when we went to the therapy, or when we went to our session, I was really closed off, and I was just sitting there crying, and I just told her I don't want to talk about it. And I kind of just shut down, and I stopped answering questions. I was like, I don't know how I feel about it. I just don't care. I don't want to care, you know, stuff like that. And so she asked if she can assess me and evaluate me and ask a couple of questions to see if I'm suffering from depression, because I was showing signs that I was. And so she asked me questions like how I've been feeling and stuff like that. And I just told her I'm just tired all of the time. I just want to sleep, and I want to just close my eyes, and I don't want to wake up. I don't want to have to deal with anything, and I feel like I'm failing at everything, and I'm just really tired. And I wish that I wasn't tired. And when I'm not tired, I'm thinking about how angry I am about everything. She's like, well, you know what? I really think that you're suffering from depression. I don't think it's that severe, you know, but I do think that you're suffering from it. So I recommend, you know, you actually call your doctor and a psychiatrist or something like that. And so she was like, you can't really work on your marriage right now because you're suffering inside by yourself, because of yourself, you know, like, I can't fix my marriage if I'm not happy with where I'm at with myself, you know? And so we agreed, like, maybe we should take a time out and working on us, because we weren't getting anywhere. And so that was just something that I never thought was possible. Like, I didn't think I was going to be depressed. I didn't think I was depressed. I mean, why would I be depressed? I have my girls. I have this, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's just, you feel guilty about being depressed. You feel guilty about having all these negative feelings, because you shouldn't be. I mean, there are couples out there that are still trying to get pregnant, and I'm fortunate enough that I was able to get pregnant and have my girls, and I'm not happy. Like, what is wrong with me? I'm just, you know, And I was just so irritable all the time. I was mad at my girls. I was mad at my husband. I was mad at everything. I just felt so alone, and I didn't feel like I could talk to anybody, and I just would call my mom crying. I'd cry like every single day. I'd call my mom crying every day. And I just tell her, like, I just want to be alone. I'm so tired. And so I end up going and seeing a therapist. She tells me, you know, what's been going on. And she gives me like a little, I guess, like a questionnaire thing. It was really scary because I was worried, like, this is always going to be on my record now. Like, it's going to show that I've had a past history of depression, and like, I was really scared of how it was. But you know what? I needed to get better for my girls. And this whole depression thing, I did have a blog post. So again, I'll link that one down so you guys can read about that and how I've managed it to this day and how I'm still seeing a therapist. And so there's just a whole bunch of different stuff about that on my blog. Something about it. I'm actually getting a lot better. I feel a lot better. And I know it's because the Zoloft that I'm taking, it definitely helps, like, with coping and healing and talking about things, crying and being sad. Like, it really is those. Like, I was just did not want to eat. I was mad about everything. You know, my girl's clothes on the floor. If he didn't pick it up, I was mad. You know, if the girls made a mess in their room, I'd be mad. If Emerald yelled about something, I'd be mad. It was just really bad. So now let's just stop about depression because I'm just done talking about it. It's a new year. It's a new me. I know everyone says that, and I'm gonna say it because I definitely am trying to be a better me. I definitely am trying to, I guess, get back to where I was before I got pregnant, because I was actually really happy and I was doing a whole bunch of things and blah 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 blah. I'm always doing YouTube, and so I am totally and completely ready to move on and be better. I want to do more videos. I am starting to do photography. I know everybody out there is doing photography right now, but I literally love photography. I mean, I used to have cameras all the time and I have pictures everywhere. And so I'm really trying to make it work, and this is the year for me because I'm just not going to let anything stop me. I'm not going to let my depression get in the way. I'm not going to let whatever get in the way. I'm just gonna do it because I think it's time for me to do it. I mean, I watch all these videos on moms that, you know, just clean their house and they have all these views and everybody loves them and I loved them. It pretty much pulled me out of my whole like slump of not like wanting to do videos. I'm like, these girls are cleaning. I clean all the time. I can make a video. So it was just like, kind of a moment. And I'm like, I'm gonna do it this year. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna just try my hardest to stick to it. I do have a hard time sticking to schedules, so that's going to be something that I have to work on this year, and I'm hoping this helps. So the only thing that I'm having trouble with is kind of transitioning from my old channel to my new channel, because obviously it's not about fertility anymore. This channel is going to be changing. I don't want to erase my old videos because I know they've helped a lot of couples. I've actually, you know, made friends online, and I've actually talked to these couples about what I've gone through. They still ask me questions, and you know, but I don't want to offend any couples that are still trying to conceive, because I know how hard that is to watch somebody that's beat it, you know, and you're still going through the whole process of it. I really don't want to hurt anyone's feelings at all. And so, but because I want to keep my videos, I'm not really sure if I want to start a new channel or continue on to this, because I want them to be able to still find them when they're looking for research or something on IUI. I want my videos to still come up. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do that, but I definitely want to make this like an extension from my blog. I do love my blog. That was something that I felt really strongly about when I was going through my depression. It really did help. It gave me a space for myself, something that I could work on. It gave me not necessarily a job, because I have my girls. I mean, I'm not there at a job or anything like that, but you know what I mean? Like, it gave me a purpose. Like, even though I have my purpose for my girls, like, it gave me my individual purpose, you know? So I definitely want to keep my blog, and I want to do YouTube videos and stuff like that. So I didn't even get any laundry folded. I folded like 3 things, but I still have a pile of clothes that I gotta fold. which is why I'm going to end the video right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to all my subscribers that have stuck it out with me for so long. I know it's been like over a year and a half. Like, it has to be over a year and a half since my last video, but I just want to say thank you guys so much for your continued support, and I hope you guys stick with me for this next journey in my life, this next chapter of raising 2 girls and dealing with depression. Have a great day. I hope you guys have a great year, and we'll see you guys in our next video.